Ready.
We're recording PKN 341. What's up, boys?
Not much.
Too much.
After this, we have the hangout tonight. That should be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's getting very popular.
It is. It used to be one session a month. Then it was sort of one or two, and four is something new.
Yeah.
And it's doubled in size. It was like 212s. Now it's 425s.
Such an incredible product people are receiving. They can't help it. They don't want to lose money on this deal.
That does.
So yeah, we'll do that after this. Kyle, you were saying that Lady Gaga, her dogs were returned. Thank God. I haven't been thinking about anything else in the last few days.
I didn't hear any news about what happened to the man who was shot in the chest. That's kind of left the news sphere, but
I never even heard about it. But it's about fucking time Lady Gaga caught a break.
Poor woman's lived such a life of misery and harm.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know much about Lady Gaga's life.
How deep into the pursuit are you that you're like, we got to just leave these dogs and cut and run, get out of here? Like, if you're going to kidnap something, a dog would be the easiest thing to kidnap. Unless Lady Gaga got a chip put in the dog, because some people do that now. And then there's no escape.
I didn't even
you got to cut that chip out.
You can low jack your dogs.
You don't know what a chip is.
My dogs have low jack. You people should think.
It's like a Total Recall. You gotta go up the nose and fucking yank that thing out.
One of my dogs. I talked about the laundry thing, right? I didn't discuss how
you were getting into laundry
started. Harley is our older dog, and she's a Great Dane, so she's a big dog. She's smaller than Ender, but anyway, she is now so old that sometimes she pees when she doesn't mean to, right? She's just laying there. She might be asleep or something. So our couches are covered with plastic and comforters and stuff like that. What do you do? Do you kill the dog for this?
No, don't kill her. Don't kill her.
No.
Right. So I see.
Heavens no.
We're not killing her for this. We really like her. She's not in pain. We typically put our dogs down because we think they're not enjoying their quality of life is gone, right? They're not walking well. You have to carry them outside to go to the bathroom. If they get to there, or sometimes they have cancer or something, the decision is made for you.
Yeah.
But she's not like that. She seems like a dog that mostly spends her days happy, maybe sleepy, just maybe
chilling. Maybe there's a drug like for dog incontinence.
We are exploring that angle too. I wonder if Great Dane doggy diaper, Jesus. So anyway, it seems like
your formerly beautiful home.
It seems like every couple of days, a comforter, or it'll be two ratty old comforters that were on the couch need to be washed, and that's partly how we fell behind in the laundry. They themselves are a whole load, and then that takes time. So, yeah. No one's stealing our dogs. That's where I'm headed to. Do you really want a leaky Great Dane? Do you? No, our dogs are safe.
That's one of the worst leaky dogs to have.
Yes.
It's gonna leak. It's like having a leaky person around your house.
I've gone both directions on this. So big dogs versus small dogs. Harley's she might be 8, right? She's gonna die soon. That Great Danes live 8 years. So the downside is it's sad that turnover is a little frequent. The upside is they're only old for a year. When you have a dog that lives 16 years, it was old for 5 years, 7 years, something like that. It spent a lot of time missing teeth, deaf, one-eyed, cataract, bouncing into the wall, or bumping into the walls, I should say.
You get those old dogs pets, and it's just a braille sheet of tumors.
They smell like old dogs. Great Danes go through that phase, much like all their other phases, quickly. So,
here's a treatment for dogs' bladders.
Is it something you order online?
It's called NutriVet Bladder Control Dog Chewables.
Fuck it.
You get a treat if you don't
a purchase happen right here. Proceed to checkout. Wait, $32 for free shipping. I'll buy 2.
There you go. We're gonna bank that this.
Hey, if they don't work on her, I could use a little help. If I'm being honest.
A little bit of incontinence, Kyle. That's
just a little.
Got a bucket under the mesh part of your chair.
Yeah. Just sitting on it. I found it interesting in the Hangout Fish is Arabic, and he was explaining that Arabic people wash their penises after they pee.
I thought he was joking for a bit.
No. They go. He was describing going into public restrooms with a Dasani bottle of water, so that after he peed, he could wash his penis.
Yeah, and he even said, he's like, when you walk into a public bathroom and there's just some weird Dasani bottle of water sitting there. Apparently, Arabs love Dasani. He kept using that brand, and he's like, yeah, that's because an Arab guy came in there and wanted to make sure he could wash his dick, and he left that water there so the next Arab guy who comes in can use it to wash his dick. And I kept saying, like, and it was just cultural disagreement. I'm like, dude, it's so much grosser to have a shared dick washing bottle than it is to just wait until you get home and take a shower. If you're that concerned about your dick.
I told him I was going to go into every rest stop and gas station near me and put bottles of acid on the urinals.
Oh, well, then that with all those Arabs near you would be in trouble.
I mean, there's got to be a few.
All those Arabs in Atlanta.
He's in a metropolitan area now. These got to have. All right, I have ordered the dog pee medicine.
Hope it works.
Me too.
For your couch's sake.
It's just the most creative and niche hate crime.
Diabolical.
Just diabolical.
You ever see that SNL?
It's began dissolving in front of my eyes.
Are they circumcised? Because they will be.
No, that's the problem. Yeah, that's what the real problem is. Have you seen that SNL skit where it's like the meeting of all the world's mad scientists and they're having a contest to design the most evil, diabolical invention ever? And like the first guy goes up and he's like, I've invented a freeze ray, and with this freeze ray, I'll freeze all the world's monuments, like Eiffel Tower, Statue of Liberty. He's going to freeze them in a block of ice. And they're like, ooh, diabolical. The classic James Bond nonsense. It's like, that's not that
Shrink ray is another.
And and then The Rock walks. Oh, yeah. Then another person walks up, and he's also got a ray gun, but his is to shrink the world's monuments down to like 3 inches so that he can steal them. Yeah. And then The Rock walks out and he's like, hello, everyone. I'm new here. Carl. So for the world's most diabolical evil invention, I created a child molesting robot. It's capable of molesting twice as many children as a standard child molester. And they're like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? He's like, what? This is a contest for the most evil invention. Did I do wrong? Yes, you did wrong. This is awful. How do you even do that? Well, it's easy. You just take a regular robot and you molest it.
And then you make him want to molest in return. You have to create the molest. It starts out as a normal robot until it itself has been molested. And that is truly evil, because at the very least, the other guy wanted like a little Eiffel Tower. There is nothing to gain from a child molesting robot.
No, nothing other than molested children.
Yeah, well, by his logic, once you molest the children, they become molesters. So
it's a vicious cycle.
So they're not even robots. They don't become robots.
Well, I mean, if the goal is to molest children, then you could just kick off this cycle, right? You get your molesting robot to make molesting people, and after a while, everyone's a molester, and it's normalized behavior.
Man, that is devious. And it's like, what do you want? How much money do you want? And it's like, it's not about money for me. It's about molesting kids. And it's like, it's got 9-year-old like dancing in a creepy Jabba the Hutt cage.
Oh no!
There. I mean, you think he would be above that? He created a molesting robot.
He just wanted to win the prize, I guess.
What an odd role for The Rock.
It was great. It was great.
He
one of my
he had a wig.
Good sketch.
That's one of my favorite sketches. I like that one, and I like when Jonah Hill has taught.
Do you hear him breaking up too, Taylor?
He's roboting.
Oh, okay. If you hear it, then it's not my connection.
Yeah, Kyle, we lost you at Jonah Hill. What about Jonah Hill?
I like when Jonah Hill had taught the monkey to speak. That skit's really funny.
I really haven't watched much. I guess most of the SNL stuff I saw was like my dad or like my dad's friends showing me like, hey, this fucking one from 1971 is great. But, I'm sure it was. It was probably a lot funnier when Chris Farley on SNL? He was, right?
He was, yeah. He was a hit. Before him, I think people think the golden days was Eddie Murphy. Who's the Belushi? Was it John Belushi?
John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner. That was the golden days. It's the first cast. It's the first cast in the 70s.
James Belushi is the one that died early, right?
No, John Belushi is the one that died early. James Belushi is his less talented sitcom brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
feel bad for that guy.
We talked about molesting. Can we lead into Cuomo? I'm so excited for Cuomo talk.
Fill me in, just like Cuomo did.
A third woman has come out. It's my impression that it is more politically hazardous to be a molesting Democrat than Republican. Republicans will overlook and defend that shit. Democrats, all of a sudden, they want to hire special counsels to investigate it and shit like that. And Al Franken, right? He lost his future because he pretended to touch that woman through her grope-proof vest. And now Cuomo looks like he's about to lose. He's going to resign or something like that.
I don't think there's any legitimacy to it.
So let's talk about what he did. I wouldn't say I'd say there's no legitimacy to it. That's stronger than
He's had 3 women come out. You know, it's pretty legitimate.
3 women come out, and they all, I would say, argued cases on roughly the same scale of badness, for lack of better phrasing. I think on one, he offered to play strip poker, right? But that one, there were 4 other people on the plane who said that didn't happen. But did she really make it up out of thin air? It's hard to say. There's another one where I guess he asked questions like, do you ever get with older men and stuff like that? And another one, I think he went in for a kiss and stopped or something. I
think he asked her if he could kiss her.
Okay.
It's what I read. And it's like, what is he supposed to do?
May I kiss you, my lady?
You always default to the, hey, if you're in a position of power, but it's like, okay, so men in power don't get laid then. They have to be monks now because apparently the bar is so low for what is sexual harassment if you are a rich and powerful man in some position of power that you can't ask a woman if you can kiss her.
Or if she'd be open to dating older guys, which is obviously a leading question as a single older guy. By the way, he's single.
And the answer is just like, no, I've got a boyfriend, so not really looking for anyone.
Get the hell out of this expensive party. These plates aren't free.
I didn't expect to be his accuser on this. I see him as a 3 out of 10 wrong on this, right, dude? Outside the workplace,
only 7 more accusers.
Outside the workplace, would you? Clearly, you're hitting on every piece of ass that works for you. It seems, right? 3 different women have come out and said he asked if he could kiss me. He asked if I dated older men. He'd asked if I play strip poker, shit like that. He's hitting on every prime piece of tail near him that is also on the payroll or some sort of government employee. I think that's right with all 3 of these. And they might be wondering, if I say yes, is this good for my career? If I say no, is this bad for my career? I shouldn't be making career decisions based around who I'm fucking. It's the same argument I use against Louis C.K., which is he's asking these women if he can jerk off in front of them, which you'd think is a good way to find out if you can jerk off in front of them. But they also felt like he's a big shot in this industry and they're not, and they had to make a career decision around a sex decision.
Also, little interjection for the Louis C.K. thing. A lot of those accusations came in the very early 2000s when Louis was a fucking no one.
I looked at that, by the way. He wasn't quite the no one that you put it. He had a bunch of producer credits and he just wasn't who he is now, but
I don't think he was a make or break guy in the early 2000s. Chappelle was a make or break.
Even if he was, he's asking. It seems like you can't. I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like you should be able to ask. It's so absurd to me that you can't politely ask someone if they're interested in you. This isn't the military.
That's true. Yeah.
Even the military, there's rules against this, but I don't think there are any rules for gubernatorial candidates and such, or comedians. When you think about oh yeah, if you're a big comedian, do not ever flirt with any other comedians whatsoever, unless they have a higher attendance than you. That's the rule.
You're kind of winning me over. That does sound ridiculous when I look at it through that lens. On the governor thing, I don't can't you just go outside the workplace? People at the bar know you're governor. You can still use this move to get ass.
To play devil's advocate, I bet he works a lot of fucking hours, especially in the last few years.
Crisis.
He needs immediate access to pussy throughout the day. And that's when you need.
He is in a
assistant.
pussy crisis. He just broke up with his longtime
He's in
girl,
a pussy
Sandra Lee.
crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like look, if he were being inappropriate with these women, if he were touching them or groping them or making like nasty comments or like commenting on their physique or like oh that's a low cut dress you got you're a well endowed woman, better be careful with that, you're gonna drive me crazy. Like all right, you can't do that. But if he's just like, excuse me, madam, but this what he's accused of doing sounds like what like Humphrey Bogart would do in a very gentlemanly portrayal of him from like a 40s movie, like in a tuxedo, like,
Yeah.
I'd love to kiss you. I just wanted to ask permission first.
I
And I haven't
like,
brushed my teeth in
Ooh.
years, and I smoked 100 cigarettes.
well, yeah, they're all
To
smoking.
fact check myself, one woman did say he forcibly kissed her on the mouth.
Was
There
it
was some
New Year's
gross thing
Eve?
you brought up, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you can't
talking
kiss
about
people
really-
without asking.
Yeah.
See what I just did there? I just said you can't kiss people without asking, but he's also accused of asking to kiss someone.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just like,
No, the governor said that part's not true. So, there's no witnesses or anything. But that is that. It's always tricky with these sex things. There's rarely any witnesses. This stuff happens in private.
Yeah. I don't think anything will come of it. I think
You don't
it'll
think
be-
I
anything
hope
will
not.
come
Look,
with it?
look,
I think
there'll
he's in
be some-
hot water.
I think there'll be some media attention over it,
Okay.
and then it'll simmer out, and it'll be similar to like Ralph Northam in Virginia, the blackface governor, where it was like, whoa, this is a huge deal. And then it was like at the flip of a switch one day, it was like, yep, this is just memory hold now. This isn't something we talk about anymore.
Maybe
So-
you're right. Biden came out and said they should have an investigation into Cuomo's conduct. And that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Democrats, if there's like
Didn't a
a
huge number
sex
of Republicans
offense,
call for Roy Moore to step down?
oh goodness. Actually, I would call the other way. I would say that they still supported him when he ran for senator. Trump went out on the campaign trail and campaigned on his behalf, even though he's literally a child molester. And they were still
did, yeah.
backing him.
how old were they?
I
in
don't
the
know. That was the mall
teens.
guy.
They were like
right?
16, 15. He had to
Nah,
get
it's not
their
a child
mom's
molester.
permission.
Whatever happened with
If you're
him?
asking mom's permission, then I'm okay with it.
Did criminal shit ever happen with Roy Moore?
Not
Or no?
criminal stuff, no. It was also like a long time ago. Like
It was
I
like
think
2018 or something. I think it was like midterms. It was before the
Oh,
midterms.
I mean,
It was all the stuff,
the
right?
story was 2020, I think, but the things happened like in the 90s or so. Like if I it's been a while if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
I just think that if you call everyone a pedophile, then it lessens the word. I think that we should be clear on what pedophiles fucking are, because pedophiles are creepy men or women, I suppose. Oh, that's edgy. That are like preying upon actual children, like children, like that's literally the definition. But when these guys are look,
So
I
one
don't
was
think Roy
14
Moore has
years
any
old.
business.
14
I don't think
years
Roy-
old.
Yeah, I don't think Roy Moore has any business going after a 14-year-old, but I don't think that makes him a pedophile. I think it makes him a criminal, and he should go to probably some sort of jail or prison,
form of jail.
some form, But I don't think it makes him a pedophile, because I don't think that he's into undeveloped children. Apparently, he's into illegally aged youngsters.
I think most
But-
people use it synonymously with like illegal youngster.
But
Yeah.
Kyle's winning me over yet again. I wish there was another word that also had a negative connotation that said he likes really young women. Because 14-year-olds are... Look, there's grass on the
They're
field,
young
right?
women. But a 7-year-old is a fucking child. Like that's what pedophiles are after. And look, I'm not trying to go easy on people like Roy Moore. I'm suggesting that we continue to go extra hard on the people who are after 7-year-olds and not
Yeah.
dilute the word by applying it to anyone who's after someone younger than 17 or 18 or whatever the limit is in your state.
But in any case, Roy Moore got a lot of support, including the President of the United States on the
That's true.
campaign trail repeatedly saying you need to support this guy when he was an accused teenage molester.
That rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, that's well. Let's get that back to the marketing department. See if we can
I'm doing my best here.
Teenage molester.
Yeah, so she was 14, he was 32. So it wasn't like, got the birthdays wrong kind of shit. Like,
yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous because like he wasn't 40. He wasn't 20, 30, 40, or even 50. I think that's like a 60-something-year-old man, right? Like
currently,
Yeah, he was a former politician.
he's 74 right now.
oh my fucking God. Like we got an issue here.
So he was 30, so this is like 40.
Yeah, it's a
1980.
shame that politics are so ridiculous that some people will defend people like that. It's nice to see like everyone going after Cuomo, even though I'm kind of mostly on his side on this one. I don't like Cuomo so much. I felt like he handled COVID quite well. I liked his daily press conferences. They seemed juxtaposed with Trump's. It was like, oh man, here's a voice of reason. Like Trump's were so off the rails sometimes with the
Cuomo gave bad news, and I liked it. He's like, look, we don't really know how to cure this yet. The death rates on this are super high. We're trying to bring them down. We don't have enough ventilators, and we're trying to get more. We've got this guy making it, but we don't see him coming in for the next 2 or 3 weeks. But here's what we're doing about it. And, we don't have enough masks. Here's what we're doing about it. We don't have this. We're trying to do that. Here's a success we've had. Now we do.
That was pretty ridiculous when he wrote a George W. Bush Mission Accomplished style book in the middle of the fucking pandemic, like before the second wave.
He was running for president.
Yeah. He was, but that shit was kind of ridiculous. And how many deaths were in New York? Like a quarter of the country's total?
It's something huge. Yeah, the trouble is New York had its spike. Probably, you know what happened? They closed off China, but they didn't close off Europe. So all the Europeans were pouring in through that port. Not it's an airplane port too. I don't know how to say that better. Mm-hmm. But it's one of the ways that people get into America. They have stopovers in New York. And they all came from Europe. It wasn't closed. Italy was open. UK was open. And New York got it first. And when New York got it, they thought like ventilators were the cure. Turns out, I think steroids are the next are a better idea. And people were dying at stupid rates. Also, Cuomo made a bad decision, it would seem. I forget the details of it, but I think he was taking people from hospitals with COVID and putting them in nursing homes to die.
Yeah,
basically.
That was the thing he allegedly tried to cover up to get his numbers better, right?
Yeah, so it wasn't that he got the totals wrong. It was that he got the numbers dying in hospitals versus nursing homes wrong. So, and I forget in which direction, but I think he made it seem like more died in hospitals when actually they died in nursing homes. And now people are like, you're covering your bad decision, which sent people from hospitals to nursing homes, and you're making it sound like they died in the hospital.
How many people did he actually send to nursing homes from hospitals? How big of a
that
like,
I don't.
Is that a big deal, or is that like a Republican talking point they're just latching on?
I think there's a touch of both. I think it's appropriate to be a little forgiving here in that it was a brand new disease and like bad decisions were made all over the place, right? Fauci said masks weren't necessary early on. Cuomo exposed elderly people to it early on. We thought ventilators were the ticket in curing this thing.
Yeah. At the early time of this, literally the only politician who wanted to close all the borders was Trump. Everybody else is like, no, that's xenophobic.
I do remember that phase.
That's nonsense.
Yeah. He did want to, if I recall, it was just a China thing. And like,
he should have wanted to shut down fucking everything. If we're going to take a global pandemic seriously, you don't go, let's debate the pros and cons of allowing people in. It's like, now, bitch, now. Like, we got to get ourselves under control.
In hindsight, you're totally right. At the time, it seemed like China had the big problem, but maybe it was everywhere.
Well, Italy too, because didn't Italy take off? Because it was pretty obvious early on, like China stopped recording. They're like, oh, we only have 82,000 people with the disease. And then it was like 8 months later, it's like, oh, we up to 84,000. We're handling it so well. And it's like, this is a ludicrous nonsense thing. But Italy, if I recall, like fucking exploded. And the huge reason for it was, I think, multi-generational homes and also the oldest average population in Europe was part of what harmed them, and just kind of location, all,
densely populated.
Densely populated.
That makes sense. I don't know any better, but yeah, that makes sense to me.
Spain got fucked up too, and they have a really old population.
So I with Trump, I know. So Trump didn't order enough vaccines, I guess, right out of the gate. This is before they were even FDA approved. And I've always had a forgiving stance. I'm like, at the time, there were like 9 people racing to. This is an argument I've had with Jackie. There were like 9 companies racing for the cure. And he was supposed to know which one had the best cure and order tons of it before it was approved. And understand, this is a developing situation. People are going to make mistakes. I give him some slack on that one.
What if Johnson & Johnson absolutely shits the bed and he was like, 20 million from Johnson & Johnson. And they're like, it turns out we're a lot better at making Listerine. We're so sorry. Our bad on this. I know. We're not giving the money back, though.
By the way, Listerine helps a little.
Yeah. You can't disprove that. You can't disprove that.
Listochloroquine. What do you guys think? Like a disinfectant in the mouth? We could maybe inject it in the blood.
How about this? Germex oral.
What? I have an issue with Trump on this. He got the vaccine when he was still president. That much I'm cool with. He's elderly, he's obese, and he has a job where he interacts with a lot of people. To me, prime target for having the vaccine. But why he kept it a secret? That part bugs me, right? That he should have said, hey, I'm a vaccine guy. I like vaccines. I'm very proud of the fact that under my administration, a vaccine has been invented at record time, warp speed, you might say. And this is me doing a photo op getting it. But he didn't. He kept that shit secret. He was downplaying COVID every opportunity he got. And still, my Republican Facebook morons are anti-vax, right? They're just anti-vax left and fucking right. And if their golden leader was pro-vax, it might save a lot of lives. But he's not doing it because he's fucking self-centered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was fucking stupid to get the vaccine in secret and not. And like, you're right. It would have been a better, even just going, like, you would have guessed, like, okay, this is Trump's wheelhouse is like PR. He knows how to handle himself in the media. True. Like, you would have imagined, like, his, because at the end of the day, he's a total narcissist. He cares about what makes him look good. And he should have been, if he wanted to look as the best, Jim been like, this is my vaccine. We're calling it the Trump vaccine. Everyone's going to get it. There's a little bit of my DNA. You'll become great also.
I love this. Yeah. And it would save lives. Like I saw some statistics. Something like 77% of Democrats want the vaccine and 33% of Republicans do. And you know why? It's because they've been filled with this hydroxychloroquine. COVID is bullshit. Don't wear a mask. Like, they've been beating that message at them, and they're buying it.
Didn't hydroxychloroquine help some people?
Apparently not. The World Health Organization or whatever it is saying, like, no good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a self-serving thing. Trump had media strategies to deal with problems. But he didn't often have like problem-solving strategies. So he would just grasp at straws and pitch ideas and try to dress problems up. But solving them, like that wasn't his core competency. On the other hand, Biden, they walk in and say this place was a disaster all the time. Dude, Biden, you had 2 vaccines you inherited. And one was on the way, right? Now, I'm not saying Trump personally invented them, but acknowledge what happened before you got here. You walked into a pretty sweet spot. If I was president, there'd be 2 vaccines, available for people. They would, like you didn't do that. But he's like, man, there was no plan. Everything was a mess. We're starting from a blank piece of paper. I knocked Trump for doing it with his military lies, right? He tells this story, maybe you've heard it, where he's like, let's go into Afghanistan and finish this off. And the generals are like, we just need a little time because we don't have any bullets in Afghanistan. Can you just wait? There's no bullets here. Fuck you, Trump, you lying sack of shit. Don't tell me there's no don't tell me the United States Army's out of bullets. It's not out of bullets.
He wanted to send more people in, or he wanted to pull people out?
He wanted to defeat ISIS or something. And he said that the military told him they had no bullets. So it's a horseshit story. We have plenty of bullets. We have so many fucking bullets. My friends are in the military. You know what they would do? Bury bullets. They would bury. They're like, they had to shoot so many bullets or they wouldn't get that many next year. So they had, I don't know how many bullets it was.
It's such bullshit.
It was like too much to shoot, like 68,000 bullets or 95,000. I don't know. And they're shooting them at nothing, just sending them down range. And they're like, we can't even shoot this many. So they buried them with skid steers.
That's absurd. Just the amount of waste
Where?
that goes on over there.
Right? Would they
And that's
still
all.
be good?
And that's
I don't know.
also what, so that whoever, Raytheon or Lockheed Martin, whoever made those bullets, the government wanted to give them a huge contract, and so it's just a bunch of pork and nonsense. Because there is a lot of that shit. Where I was reading one thing about some, maybe it was Boeing, that they made some plane, or no, it was a troop transporter. It was like Raytheon or something. They made a troop transporter, and there were billions poured into it from the government, and it's just totally ineffectual, doesn't work. There was like some guy online being like, here's another reason this shit doesn't work. Clearly designed by someone who's never been in the field. You don't want aluminum there. It'll blow right through. It'll kill you. You don't want the potential for shrapnel. And so and he explained walking through and I'm butchering a lot of the intricacies, but he basically walked through and and people are outraged. And I show them this and I tell them there are hundreds, if not thousands of examples of things like this, just bullshit contracts that are given to these companies that just so happen to be the biggest donors to politicians who also love war. And it's it's absurd. They'll give a huge contract to fucking Raytheon for something they don't need and then doesn't get used.
It's just a jobs program, which
Yeah,
I'm
much.
a little kind of okay with. I just wish it was a different jobs program. Why can't it be highways or energy infrastructure?
What did the Roman Empire do in times of not war? Not much, because they're always at war expanding their empire, but they always had legionaries. And their alternate job, this is why Rome was so successful, the empire, is when they were not fighting, they built roads, they built aqueducts, they built buildings, they built, marvels, they built huge things. And so they were always at use. Why? You're 100% right. Why the hell can't we do that? Be like, oh, you know what? We're getting out of the Middle East, but we're going to keep the jobs program going. So we're going to build roads that aren't ass. We're going to, create something here. It's silly. What the hell are we still doing over there?
I'm with you. Yeah. And we'll see. I'm a little worried Biden's pro-war because he bombed Syria. But then I give Trump the general thumbs up on not being pro-war.
Best thing about it.
He bombed Syria too. So let's keep watching and see if Biden's better or worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully nothing escalates, but
yeah,
who knows? Probably going to be I saw something come out where it's more revealed about Assad's evil attacks. And it's oh, okay. Right on time, isn't it? Right on time.
Is he a madman?
Is he a madman? I don't know. All the Christians in Syria seem to say that he protects minority Christian rights. That don't hear about that in the news.
I don't know anything. Yeah, I don't hear about that at all. I don't know. I just know there's a whole lot of madman. They tend to be brown and they need a good bombing.
Yeah, they need a good fucking bombing.
They need a little freedom. But anyway, Cuomo, I think his goose is cooked. You guys brought up some pretty good counterexamples, so maybe you're right. We'll see how it plays out.
Anything could happen. There's no fucking consistency in any of this. It's just whatever people's moods is in that month or that week, it feels like.
Kuomo needs a good story, right? If Biden wanted to help out Cuomo, he should bomb somebody.
He did.
I got a good idea. I'm going to bomb Syria.
All right, well,
people are talking about Cuomo doing this. You didn't see the size of her tits. These are some big, heavy hangers.
Taylor, you got new gym equipment? You excited? Have you used it yet? I see there's weights on it. So
yeah. So yesterday it arrived in the morning, and I put it together in my basement. Was really excited. Did my push. I basically planned out this week. I was like, all right, if it doesn't show up Monday, pull's going to be Monday, and I'll hope it shows up Tuesday. But thankfully it showed up yesterday, so I was able to do push day. And I think I worked out for 3.5 hours yesterday, pretty continuously. I finished everything. What? And then I just kept going back. I kept tally marks. And by the time I was done,
Taylor's on steroids, confirmed.
I had done 10 sets of every single part of my workout except for
10 fucking sets of everything.
I had done 10 because I just kept going back, and I was
if I really like an exercise, I step it up to 4.
Yeah, so yesterday I did 10 by 10 of all
Is that even a thing? I've never heard of 10 by 10.
No, it was just because I was still down there, and I was like, I'm just having a blast. I was taking big breaks in between, enjoying, but
now that I
was
do.
Really a good time, yeah. And so I was still lazy about it. I was like, oh, I should probably balance it out, do more barbell incline bench and seated barbell overhead military press. And I was like, no, that's not what we're doing today. We're having fun. We're doing the fun ones extra. And so
intuitive
I just did 5 sets of those. Yeah. And then I did a huge amount of the machine overhead press. over and over, really enjoying it, trying the different handles, trying different seating things. I did an enormous amount of those delt raises, and I can tell today those are going to be so helpful for my the delt definition there, just because
this is the machine you're talking about.
The machine, yeah. It just forces you to stay in that same movement, so you can't cheat the way you can some other ways. So, and a lot of, and I think I mentioned this in our text, like a lot of my gym now is I want to have multiple ways to do everything to avoid any kind of boredom. Like, of course, yeah, I can do everything I want with the barbell and the power racks, really. Like, except for bent over rows, my body doesn't like those, but my hamstrings don't like them, so I don't care for bent over rows that much.
Okay.
But now it's like I feel like I'll get myself more excited because I'll be like, oh, it's push day. I'm kind of feeling in a rut. You know what? I'll do the machine one. I'll do a really heavy machine instead of the barbell press. Like yesterday, of course, I did all of it because I was just having fun. But yeah, it was a great workout yesterday. I
guess so. Fucking 3.5 hours of 10 by 10s.
I counted up all the reps. I think I did. Wait, it was 6 exercises of 10 by 10. So
if you don't exercise at all, that means he did 10 sets of 10 reps of a given exercise. A rep is an individual push, and a set is a collection of the 10.
I did 700 reps yesterday.
Good God.
Yeah, and I just was down there forever having a blast. And of course, like by the end, like I've got like a 25 on either side of like the overhead thing because my arms are so burnt out, and it's like just trying to do it. Because you know how it is, Woody. I'm sure you do drop sets where like by the end you're curling 5s and it feels just like some deception of gravity is pulling on it. It's so heavy.
I think I do drop sets on my deltoids twice a week. And I don't know if I do any other drop sets. My biceps have been hurt a little bit, although I think I've got the fix. But
do you ever do bicep curls with the resistance band or just the easy curl bar?
On warm-ups, I sometimes do that with the resistance band. But my favorite bicep now is incline on a bench. So it puts your elbows behind your chest, and you do them there. And I guess it's supposed to hit the peaky head, which is what I'm most concerned with. It's my biceps are. I'll make a muscle. They're kind of long and put it not in front of the mic. I don't have like a really apple. I see them as kind of long and lame. So that's why I'm working on the peak.
Good. Yeah, I've been really enjoying doing curls with resistance bands recently. Like, just not even counting some. And this is usually like towards the end of a workout where it's just, and I've started like taking those fat grips, and I'll put that around the handle of it. And so like I just finished doing that right before we started this. And like I was telling Kyle before the show, like by the end, like set or number 8, you're like, man, I'm a champion of men. I'm so strong. I'm great. And then like maybe 14, 15, you're like, oh, this is so easy. 20 seconds to go. Like, and you're having to punch up almost and you're grabbing. And harder than anything is doing reverse curls, holding onto those fat grips on the resistance band. I like the resistance bands on it because I can move my wrists a little more freely. I don't feel locked in. It's more comfortable. But man, just having to grab something like that and lift it, it's like you can feel your whole forearm on fire. It's great. Not great in the moment.
My favorite is when I get good at a body. So dips. For a long time, a couple of months, I used an assistance band for dips, right? So I put it under my knees and it helps lift me. And then when I could finally do 3x8 without an assistance band, I was like, I'm a man. I'm a grown man who can support his own body weight. And then I was doing 3x12s, but kind of pumping them out quick, like I could get to 3x12. That was an accomplishment. And then there I paused and just slowed down a little bit, a little more time under tension, a little less cheating, stuff like that. My last set, I felt like I was a passenger on the dip ride, just pumping them out. I'm like, this feels really good. My pull-ups too, similar type thing. I came into pull-ups pretty well because even when I didn't work out, I always did pull-ups. I like pull-ups and push-ups. So those particular exercises I didn't suck at even to start. But now I'm doing 3x12. And again, I'm just like a passenger on the pull-up ride, just coming along. Like, oh yeah, I guess that was 12. I hardly noticed. So
that's impressive. Just banging out 12 pull-ups like that.
Yeah.
That's
so
really
that one I like. I hit a bunch. Today was a good. I had such a good day today. I know workout talk. I don't know if everyone wants to hear this, but sometimes I'll hit a PR, but I'm also like dragging through it. I'm a little low energy, and I question the validity of my PR because maybe I rested longer than I normally do, and like that's why. Today I was moving quickly. I was hitting PRs. I was high energy. I was just like, this is the best. What did I do? I want to do this again. I didn't have extra caffeine. I actually had the non-stim pre-workout.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Maybe I slept well, but I was just the best me.
Yeah, I was pretty much done with, or I was done with my workout. I was just fiddling around before we were going to start this down there, responding to a couple of emails and then just going and, doing curls or something because it was pull day. But like it is, I'm so glad you're into it too right now, Woody, because it's good talking about it. And again, the pictures you're sending, like so many, I open up my because everything in WhatsApp just saves it to your phone. and so I open up and I'm going to send a picture.
If you were into elderly men porn, I'd have you on the hookup.
I have to go in and delete so many pictures of Woody half naked.
Of Woody's abs and his vascular ass forearms, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to send a picture of that, invoice to my insurance guy. Oh, I'll scroll through 10 pictures of Woody shirtless first.
It's like there's a lot of Woody in my phone. There's more than I care to see. I go through. I'm like, select all, delete. I know what he looks. I know what his forearms look like now. I can pick him out of a fucking lineup.
I haven't done any kind of reveal because you can only do it once, right? And
yeah.
I don't want to show them me get 5% better, and then the world will be like, I don't even know which one's the before and after, right? Mm-hmm. You have to wait. But Kyle and Taylor, I haven't made them wait. I haven't made them wait at all.
We get the progress pictures.
Along well. Speaking of which, Kyle, are you still putting a syringe into a used condom to measure your load to confirm?
Yes. I have many syringes of jism laying about. No. I think we're good on the formula. I was just talking to Derek about that yesterday, or the day before. I think he's going to send us all another sample this time, maybe with a label on, and nice. We'll pretty much be there because I've been taking the final formula for a while now, and I think we're all good.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Load has stayed consistent. And so we definitely nailed the blend.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon you guys are going to be coming like titans, like champions. your wives and girlfriends are going to be like, stop taking that supplement. This isn't getting me off. And you say, bitch, this is about me. This is about me. Marking you as property. Oh, fucking no.
I can't understand your complaints through all that gargling.
Yeah.
Oh,
it works great.
Dear God. Gargling.
She was like, "Oh man, this load stack works great. That was another two gulper."
I shoot a load so viscous it's like a popcorn kernel in the back of your throat. There's no gargling.
Oh, God damn.
It's gritty.
It's a sandy blast.
Those are the individual sperm cells you're feeling. It's like eating a pomegranate. They're popping in your mouth.
And it's like when you blow on a dandelion.
Some of them escape.
Yes, and that's how humans reproduce. It's my understanding. I'm alien David Attenborough.
Poor David Attenborough. It's a shame he couldn't live forever.
Oh, he did die, didn't he?
He did. Yeah. No more of those. I don't know. I wonder who will be the voice of. You know who I like that guy who was I don't know his name. He was in The Mandalorian. He was like the first bad guy who was like paying the Mandalorian to go get Grogu or whatever. He's that old white German guy. He also does the voice of a lot of like animal documentaries and such, and he does a very good job. I think he's the best replacement for Attenborough.
They should just hire Taylor to do an Attenborough impression.
That would be a slap in the face to David Attenborough and his family.
I like it.
I'm the even better David Attenborough.
He used lots of curse words.
The old white man. You're just ripping on him. Please, get this guy off the air. I'd be rolling in coin. That'd be the best job ever. You just show up, read in a British accent. He doesn't know. You talk to him at a bar. How much does he know about animals, really? only what he's read in the script, which means he and I know about the same amount because I've watched Planet Earth. Like, he wasn't out there really studying. He wasn't like Jane Goodall hanging out with monkeys.
It's true. Have you ever seen that movie, Gorillas in the Mist, with Sigourney Weaver?
About Jane Goodall? I have not.
Yeah.
Worth watching?
Yeah. I liked it as a kid, but I'm a big Sigourney Weaver fan.
Jane Goodall. Is Jane Goodall dead? That was interesting what she did, hanging out with all those apes.
I mean, spoiler, I'm pretty sure that my memory is that she was murdered in the Congo.
But not by the chimps.
No,
she's not dead. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe that movie had a... Who died in that movie? I could have sworn it. I haven't seen it since I was like very young with my grandmother, but I could have sworn that like they like machete murdered her. Maybe Gorillas in the Mist is about somebody else. Yeah.
I don't know.
Never mind.
Is there any new updates? I'm on his channel now, so I guess not, but I don't use Instagram. Is any updates on Juji and Tom that you know of, Woody? We know, or we're assuming they had a little bit of a breakup. And
I actually try to stay current on that. And there's
still no new videos. Yeah.
No new videos. I'll go to their channel now on their most recent videos. Sometimes, like if you sort by new, you can get little details. Let's
look at his Instagram.
So I saw him in somebody else's video, and Tom wasn't in it. I forget whose video it was. It might have been a...
Sorry.
Oh, there was they did him, Juji, and a powerlifter did a Ninja Warrior course. This is more recent than his most recent video, but no mention of Tom, no new real good stuff. It's supposed to be a gym reveal video as their next, which should be big.
Yeah, everybody watches those videos. I'll watch that one because those gym reveals are really interesting. Makes you just jealous though, of like, oh, this is so cool.
Woodworking. Like, you can build a master level armoire or something like that. 4,000 views. And then you're like, here's a tour of my shop. 1,000,000 views. That's everyone wants to see. It's the shop. And I feel the same way. Watching him do curls, there's so many videos on how to do curls. But a gym tour, I very much want to see why he chose it. Heck, why he chose the machine location. I'm totally interested in the gym tour. I have a gym upgrade coming tomorrow.
Yeah, watching his his home gym videos a few years ago was what made me like, damn, like obviously I'm not buying rogue shit the way he is, dropping thousands on each piece of equipment, but yeah, this is doable.
Do you think that a lot of your equipment will be that final of that version? I'm not saying it right, but let's say whatever it is, it's a squat rack. Will that be your last squat rack, or will you someday get a Rogue Rep Sornix something? If it's not squat rack, something else, lat machine.
Maybe if you've got, I'm going to answer for him, and I bet I nail it. Maybe if you have like a ton of disposable income, you'll like yeah, let's get the best of everything. But like with stuff like that, it's not like he's going to break a squat rack.
Yeah, with you're pretty much on the money there. Like a squat rack is like I got the X3 rack instead of the T2, and like the T2 is the one that's like 2-inch like square, and the 3-inch is the X3, and it's like there is no reason for that 3-inch upright. Like that's outrageous. A huge amount of support. It's outrageously thick. It's like, okay, but I just wanted to, and there was a great deal on it when I did buy it, and so
there is a reason, I would argue.
Stability.
Well, there's a lot of accessories for it. My uprights are 2x3, just for reference. And the world of 2x3 things you can hook on is very limited.
That's true. I didn't even know they did 2x3s.
But if you have 3x3 like Taylor, there are so many like little rollers and hooks, and like the whole world just wants to stick shit in your rack.
That is true. Yeah. I mean, as far as other machines, like the lat machine, for example, I can't see ever needing to replace that. All I'll need to do is like, if it fucks up with the wire coating again, I can just take, 20 minutes, replace that real quick. There is no way I'll ever be strong enough to outgrow these like machines.
I could see you not wanting or going selector. So people don't know there are two kinds of sort of machines. One's plate loaded, where you take the plates you already have and you add them to the side as weights. Or there's selector, where you take the pin and you move it up and down in a stack of weights. Selector's pretty nice if, for example, Taylor and his future son or Taylor and his future wife work out together, they're not unloading and reloading, every set.
That is really true. Like, thankfully, like,
it's a bit of a workout moving the plates, though, right? Like you're gonna lose that. You're gonna lose those extra reps.
So this is an area where I have experience. It's not the workout you want. It's like a bending over lower back, carrying 45's ugliness.
I always tell myself exactly what Kyle said, where I'm like, yep, I hate moving these plates. It's kind of annoying, but man, think of the extra little cows. Like over a whole year, I might get a whole pizza worth. Like maybe, but, that's an extra pizza. So yeah, I would definitely like the choosing like pin. That's definitely better. I could see upgrading to that. It was really just a matter of sticking with plate loaded, because it was like I got the first plate loaded machine, the lap machine, because I had extra plates, and then because I had extra plates, I got more plate loaded machines, which means I bought more plates. And so it was like a fulfilling thing. And like, for people out there who haven't bought workout equipment, it is way cheaper on average to go plate loaded than the stack. The stack is like seen as, especially in home gym equipment, like a bit of a premium. So, I think it was like a $350 difference between the plate loaded lap machine and like the stack lap machine. And it was like, I just can't rationalize that. Because if I got that stack, I would still be feeling like a dumbass looking at all these now unused plates taking up room on my rack or in my plate holder. Although I guess this is a great time to sell plates. I could make a pretty penny.
Yeah, you can always sell. I bought some extra plates. Even though I can't lift all the plates I own at the same time, now I have some for each side of the rack, so I'm not walking around it every time I change a weight. Like take a 5 off, put a 10 on is a bit of a pain in the ass when that involves laps around the squat rack. And now it's super easy. I'm so happy with my extra plates.
Yeah, George. That's true. And it's like I do the same thing where it's like, well, I need, I need 600 pounds total just to live on these couple machines. Just so I don't have to worry about it. And then it's like, you're just defeating the whole purpose of plate loaders at this point. It's like letting hundreds of pounds hang out on your fly machine.
It's fun though. Anyway.
Yeah. It was like, I almost didn't realize how many plates I fucking had, because I went over to I can't do farmer's carries for now because all my sectional and all my furniture is in that long hockey area. I can't do my hockey pucks either. And
well, you could.
I could. I have a couple times, like, as my couch is all in different areas. I'm like, I'm gonna pretend like in the couch is like between me and the net, and I'm like, it's like I'm shooting through traffic, and I'm just and then a couple times I've like nailed my, armrests on my couch. Like, that's fucking stupid.
I used to shoot into the back of my station wagon, and if you hit the rear seats fine, there was no trouble. And then I broke my side view mirrors, and it was like, well, that's what you get.
Oh man, I've learned my lesson. I'm not as good as I thought. But yeah, like I took off all my plates off my farmer's carry stuff, and then realized like, oh, I just don't have enough storage for this anymore. Like everything's full, unless I just want to put more plates than I can use on my machines. Like that, like chest supported T-bar row. At one point, I had like 280 pounds on there, and you're not doing that. Like, you grab the strongest guy at the gym, and he'll be able to do that a couple times, maybe. Like at absolute most.
You have too many plates to store at this point?
Until I can get my farmer's carry handles back on. Because they load a lot. Like, I've got a ton of plates that just live on my farmer's carry handles. And I just had a hair up my ass. I'm like, well, I can't use my farmer's carry handles. I'll deload them and like organize a bit. And it was after I deloaded all those, because there's like 6 plates on each one of those. I was like, this was stupid. There's nowhere to
3 plates on each one.
Yeah, but it's like, well, 3 plates worth ish. But like it was like a different combination.
I understand now. Yeah.
Of plates. And so it was just more than I can fit.
Because I used 2 plates, which is about 100 pounds a hand. And I'm like, he's using 6. The fuck?
Yeah. I farmers carry 1,200 pounds. I'm enormously strong. Drop it and it just crashes through the foundation of my home. Yeah. So we got another hangout tonight. I'm looking forward to doing that.
It should be fun. I told Jackie, I was like, all right, show's at 6 to 7. 7:15 sharp, I want dinner delivered. Like, look, I'm not going to sweat 7:13, but
Jesus,
you nail it the best you can. So that's where we are.
Yeah, I was like, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna fucking hop in the shower, get clean and tidy so I smell nice for the patrons.
Yes, you just had 700 reps of something.
Well, that was yesterday. I would have been in a sour mood yesterday. PKN day. I would have been like, it was like maybe 8:40 at night last night, and I'm like, oh man, like I'm dying here. I gotta go to bed. And it's like, you've been awake for not even, you're like living like a cat today.
I played. We got done. We started at noon, and I think we finished at what 2, 4, 6, like 6:30 p.m. something like that.
Yeah.
And then I played poker until 3 a.m. So I was here for like 15 hours or something stupid.
Yeah, and it was a good poker game, right?
Yeah, I did quite well.
Nice. That seems to be a recurring theme.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a good time.
I feel like I would be one of those people that pays Kyle if I played poker, which is why I don't. I could see hopping in. I don't know if it's changed, but it used to be you could sit at the table and not play, and I'd see everybody's cards but not say anything.
You can do that, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know how to phrase. Because I'm on the show, people are happy to have me around sometime.
Sure, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Of course, yeah. It'll be like sometimes it's late at night, and there's like I'll pop on there, and there's a chat with like 3 people in it, and I'll just jump in and be like, "Hey, anybody want to play Magic or Total War?" I'll be like, "No, not really," and then it's just like, like it's like 50 people join in. It's like, "Oh hell yeah!" Now I got people knocking down my door to beat my ass in Total War.
I was excited because I thought the story was going the other way. Like, I pop in, I'm Taylor, the local celebrity, and I say, does anyone want to play Magic? And even though I'm Taylor, the answer is no.
That's very often the case. There's like 6 guys in the Patreon that all like to play. A couple of them are very new, and then a couple of them are more intermediate. It's broken down pretty good. And I know the 2 or 3 guys' names who are genuinely very good. And so like if one of them challenges me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep up the facade, but I'm picking my best fucking rocking and rolling deck. I'm even gonna say things in the chat like, I'm gonna try my red. I'm gonna give that a go. I'm playing my best green. I'm not playing the red. Just trying to throw them off just to get the the win. And it works a lot of the time. It feels so nice to be good at a game. To be like, oh yeah, I know how to play this. I got this.
I thought you were going the other way on that too. Hey, does anyone want to spar? Not you, Joe Lozon. Fuck you. No, anyone else want to spar? That's.
I think my worst record against someone in the Patreon. I think I'm either 3-3 against him or I'm 4-3 against him.
Ooh, not bad. So you're the
other
best.
Guys, yeah,
at least.
The other guys, I think there's one guy I'm like 11-0 against. Someone I'm like 7-1. Someone I think I'm like 6-2 maybe. And then 1 or 2 guys were pretty damn close to even. So yeah,
who's the other guy who rivals you as best?
I'm trying to remember his name. I need to go to my fucking. I need to open my Magic app and
he's
find
insulted.
it,
He's listening to this right now, thinking Taylor doesn't know my name. I'm gonna whoop his ass.
Well, a lot of these guys.
I'm not playing red anymore.
My name's Steve in the PKA chat, but in Magic, I'm Ultimate Demon Elf 6 years. It's like, wait, who the fuck is that? Rick? Who's the Demon Elf, or is that the other guy?
Yeah, I follow.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Can't wait till we're all stoned to shit in Colorado playing that, and definitely not poker.
Yeah,
yeah, that's how it'll work, right? They'll just need to be, peer pressuring. But there's no way to win Magic or win money in Magic, and I think that's a lot of the draw for these poker guys.
Well, there's no way to lose money in Magic. Well, there probably is. I guess everybody loses
a ton of money playing Magic.
I didn't think that through.
No winner. Like the only people who have made. If you want to see who's made money on Magic, go to like the Pro Tour top 8 every year, and it's those guys. That's it. Everybody else hemorrhaging money into Wizards of the Coast. And I'm not spending any more money on Magic until they release the set with Lord of the Rings cards. Not a single card will be purchased, digital or otherwise, until that set releases, and then I will probably buy a play set of all the cards I like in that set.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. the Lord of the Rings in particular, like the 40K shit is cool, I guess. Like I am into that a lot, but not like I am Lord of the Rings. Like I could see buying some cards, I guess.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm gonna build that whole themed decks. I'm gonna be disappointed if they don't flesh out the world enough, but that's not a worry for me really, because Magic does a really good job of fleshing out these worlds. So, yeah, that'll be really cool. I can't wait to play it for dozens of people on Twitch.
Well, do you want to call it there?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. Get some dinner and then begin our hangout.
Yep, me too. All right, PKN 341.